Hey there, Luke Kalinsky from SNowIT speaking. I'm thrilled to welcome you back to our channel. Today we are diving into some game-changing solutions that are designed to elevate your ServiceNow experience to new heights. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, you are in for a treat. But before we jump into the details, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way you will never miss out on the latest insights and innovative solutions we share here at SNowIT. Now, let's get down to business. Today, I'm going to explain the most important thing for the flow designer, flows, subflows, and the actions, which is the testing. So let's start from this example. So we'll trigger our catalog item by fulfilling this form. Once we submit it, then request and requested item will be created, and then the flow will be triggered. So let's move on with that. As you can see, our rhythm was created, so we can navigate to it to see what data is placed there, and also I'll show you how quickly you can navigate to your flow. Now you can see how the requested item looks like. In the variable section, you will see all of the variables that we have fulfilled within the catalog item. And at the bottom, you can see most important part for us at this point, the flow context. So once you click on it, you'll be redirected to your flow. So we are in the testing mode in our flow. As you can see in here, you got the status of the flow, so it's waiting. You can cancel flow from here, also open the configuration of the flow, open the context record. If we click on the catalog item requested, it means that this is our trigger, right? So our rhythm triggered this flow, so we have access to see this information. By clicking it, we will be redirected to our rhythm. In here we have set of the actions with the proper execution, and on the right side you can see the state of it and also the start time. So as you can see, two first actions were completed, and now we are waiting for an approval. So if we go back to our record, you will see that it's waiting for Jerry phones to be approved. Let's visit this one. So as you can see in the configuration, we are setting this stuff, and on the left side in the outputs, you got the data which was collected. So as for example, we were looking for the expert, and we got Cherry as the expert. Affected inventory, we got this record. So this is how you can check the data inside any action. In here we are setting a notification. Both of them are completed, and now we are waiting for this approval. So we can see the runtime and all of the information which is placed in here. So as for example, this group is asked for an approval. Oh, sorry. In this case, it's a user. So let's switch to the view. Now we can trigger it. We can mark it as approved. And now we can just refresh this page by clicking this button. So as you can see, the approval is completed and it was approved. So it went to this path, to else, and updated the record. So as the output from the section, we should see a comment which says that the record was approved. So let's see how it looks like. If we go down, as you can see, request is approved. So it means that we are moving forward with the action. And also the first task is created. So let's see how it looks in here. And yeah, this is fine because in here we have create catalog task action. What is most important when we are using create catalog task, you have an option to show the variables that were used in the service catalog. So as you can see, we'll show three variables, and in here when we pick up this task, you can see that these three variables are listed in here, right? So you have access to it. And if, for example, I change it in here, it will be changed in the requested item because those variables belongs to that record, and in here we have only the references to them. Let's move on. Now, as you can see, it's a waiting state, so it's waiting for completion of this task. So let's complete it. We can close it. Now it's closed. You can refresh the page, and you can see that this one is completed now. Also, we have create tasks 1 and 2, and in this case, we were waiting for completion of this task, but those tasks haven't got this waiter turned on. So they were just triggered, and that's it, and we moved forward. But what is important in here, as you can see, it's a create task, so it means that this is creating a generic task, and we are just specifying there a table, but we don't have access to the variables. So let's see how they looks like in the form. So if we refresh this list, you can see that task 1 and task 2 is open, but if we navigate to it, you can see that this is a generic task and we don't have these variables. So this is very important when you are using these two actions. And now we have this task close task waiter, and this is the subflow. So as you can see on the right side, you have open subflow context, so you can navigate to it to check the execution. So as the output and the input, we have this read as the input, and the output is not done provided because it's in waiting state. And in this case, in this example, we are waiting for completion of the record. So it means that in here we're looking for the tasks that are opened, right? We are collecting the record which is already opened, and then we are waiting once it's completed. And then once it's completed, we are going over again, looking for another task which is opened, and so on and so forth. And when everything is closed, it means that we are not getting any record back. Then we are going here, so we are assigning our outputs as a success. So let's try it. Let me close this task. So now, as you can see, the task number 10 was closed. Okay, let me just refresh it. Nothing happened. Why? Because in here, this record which was found, sorry, in here, as you can see, it's 11. So we need to close 11 tasks to move on. So let me open it. Now I can close it, and then the flow should move on. Yep, as you can see, we went to outputs. Now we can verify the output, and in here we can see the success. So if we go back to the flow, we can refresh it. Now it seems to be completed because this waiter was closed, this update was closed. So it means that as the end, we got this work node. So in here in the work node, we can see that it's completed. So this is how we can check the execution. But also now, let's say we have this testing record, so we can trigger our flow once again. So if we go to open this flow, it means that we are opening the configuration of it. We have this test button, so you can try again our record. So if you click run test, then another flow will be triggered and we can see the execution. Of course, it may be impacted by some choices that we have done in the previous one, but in our case, it shouldn't be affected. So we can open it, and you can see that once again we have it, right? But yeah, as I mentioned, approval was already there, so that's why uh, it was executed in different way. Now I'll present you how you can test your actions and how you can verify the execution. So what is important, if you click this button, then you can see the executions, right? So if you open this tab, you will be displayed with all of the executions for this particular action. This works also for flow and the subflow. But let's start from here. So we have our action, and we can just click the test button. So we are choosing change, for example, as the input, and then we'll see the output. So if you open this, we have the same structure. So we have the actions, right? So if we open that, we had this input, like the change, and we have output, which is empty. So it means that it was not found. Also, what is important in here, we have the steps, so we can see the inputs and the outputs for each step. We had one step, so as you can see, we have one inputs and one outputs data. If we would have more, then all of the steps will be listed. Switching to another one, we have this Pokemon manuals, so we can see the execution already. So let me open one of them. So let's see the latest. As you can see in here, you don't have the context record, so it means that the flow reporting thing is flow reporting property is not set on, and also we haven't set property for our particular action, but we can do it, right? So we can change it. Reporting settings will tune it to be updated, and now we can test our action. So we'll see how the execution looks like for this particular record. Now we can see how it looks like. So as you can see, the action is completed. As we haven't got any inputs, as the output we got this data, and also as I mentioned, we can open the steps and we can see the steps. So we have the first step, so we can see the setup, the outputs. Now you can see the second step, the inputs and the outputs, and the third step, the inputs and the outputs, right? So this is the way how you can see the execution for the actions and how you can test them. I appreciate you spending your time with us today. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe and explore our website at snowit.co. Your support keeps us going. Exciting things are on the horizon, so stay tuned. See you in the next video.